Tonight, a decision handed down by the U.S. Supreme Court in Virginia's high-stakes redistricting effort after more than 1 million voters said yes to new congressional maps. The High Court rejected the Commonwealth's bid to move forward with them. The decision marks the end of the road for the proposed maps. Brittany Miller joins us in the studio tonight with that reaction. Brittany.
Yeah, Dana, Norfolk Democrats say they weren't surprised by the Supreme Court's decision to reject the congressional maps. Meanwhile, Republicans are welcoming the ruling.
The U.S. Supreme Court handing down a rejection to the Commonwealth, denying Democrats' efforts to move forward with newly drawn congressional maps.
The voices of upwards of 3 million Virginians are at this point being disregarded for procedural issues.
The chairman of the Norfolk Democrats says the decision from the High Court was one that they expected.
I think we are disappointed but not surprised in terms of the United States Supreme Court decision, looking at their track record as well as their composition at this point.
Despite more than 1.5 million voters saying yes to the redistricting referendum, the first blow to Democrats came from the Virginia Supreme Court, which ruled against the maps 2 weeks after the election, citing that the General Assembly violated the state constitution. The chair of the Virginia Beach Republicans, Lance Lesher, says the Commonwealth Supreme Court shouldn't have allowed the vote to happen.
A little disappointed that they didn't rule in ahead of time, not necessarily on where the lines went and the gerrymandering aspect of it, but the pure constitutionality.
Though the new lines won't take effect, Grant Deppen says he still stands by the Democrats' work towards partisan gerrymandering.
The justification behind why we're doing what we're doing, I think, has only been further amplified by the actions in other states across the South to disenfranchise black voters. Again, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, South Carolina.
For Lesher, Democrats took the wrong approach.
The Democrats overreached, and in hindsight, they'll say overreached. And maybe if they weren't quite as aggressive with their gerrymandering, maybe they would have been more successful.
Both the Republicans and Democrats say they're turning their attention to the candidates campaigning in the upcoming congressional race, both sides hoping to make gains across the Commonwealth. Brittany Miller, 13 News Now.
All right. Thanks so much, Brittany. Other high-profile figures on both sides of the issue are also speaking out after tonight's Supreme Court decision. In a social media post, Governor Abigail Spanberger said the Supreme Court of the United States has now joined the Supreme Court of Virginia in choosing to nullify an election and the votes of more than 3 million Virginians. These Virginians made their voices heard, casting their ballots in good faith to push back against a president who said he's entitled to more seats in Congress before voters go to the polls. Congresswoman Jen Kiggans also released a statement saying this is a victory for Virginians and a clear-cut example that Virginia Democrats under Abigail Spanberger's leadership violated the Virginia Constitution and our laws every step of the way to deprive Virginians of their voices in government and damage our democracy.